Okay, here, I'm going live. Hi, everyone. We just filmed this entire episode without the camera being live, which is why he's cracking up right now. This is Jace Willoughby, by the way. He's new. He's in Northgate Bands. He's helping. And then you know me, I'm Cal Ewing. This is a very, very informal version and a very late version, a special edition of Northgate Game Day, and we got to go quick now so that we don't miss our curfew and get home in time. But we were able, this week, Northgate has a bye. And I believe East Coweta's game was away. So this week we were able to get out to the Trinity Christian home game against LaGrange. And we just have a little post-match recap. So you want to start?
Sure. So the game started with a field goal by Trinity. It was a strong start there. Then LaGrange was driving the ball down the field, and then they fumbled it, and then picked up by a defensive player, returned it for a touchdown.
I believe that's a little off. That's later in the game. Okay. So to start off, no, don't end the live stream. Can you get your face? We have notes. Sorry about that. So at the start of the game, LaGrange fumbled the ball at their own 10-yard line, and then Trinity picked it up, held to a 3 now, but got the field goal. Colin DePriest is one of the best kickers in the region for sure. He has like infinite range. But then they were able to get a quick touchdown after they forced a punt from LaGrange because of a absolute dot of a pass to Preston Funk about 50, 60 yards out. Don't worry, there's plenty more fumbles where that comes from. And sorry that this is very informal. We're in a Publix parking lot after the game. We just do this because it's fun. At 11:28 at night, yes. So we appreciate any support. But after that, LaGrange responded with their own long touchdown pass about also the same distance, 50 or 60 yards. And not 60 or 7. We're not doing a 6 or 7 joke here. And then it was just an absolute dime of a pass again. And that's where things started to go really wrong for Trinity. In this first half, they had 4 drops, which stopped huge plays for like 10 or 20 yards or major third down plays. That very, very much hurt their ability to move the ball down the field. So they had to punt a lot in the first half after those initial 10 points were scored. And then tragedy struck because on the punts, the lawn snapper twice had undersnapped it and caused Colin DePriest to pick it up, hope for the best. And he ends up doing 2 really great punts. On the third one, it's over his head. He tips it. It goes behind, and he's hoping for the best. Kicks it. It gets blocked. We saw what I think is one of the best spin moves I've ever seen from the LaGrange player who picked it up.
He spun on the kicker.
Yeah, spun on the kick. It was. Yeah, Colin was making that tackle, and he just got sent the wrong direction. And LaGrange returned it for a touchdown. So
the lead.
Yeah, they took the lead 14-10. It was pretty crazy. Then LaGrange gets the ball back because don't worry, it was a good punt from Trinity this time. But they get the ball back, they just run the ball straight down the field after a couple penalties, and then the quarterback runs it in with 1 minute left in the first half for another touchdown. So it was 21-10, and on the ensuing kickoff, it resulted in a fumble recovered by LaGrange. And this is, I think, what you were talking about. That the fumble was recovered by LaGrange, but the ref said that the Trinity player who had the ball was down first, that his knee hit down.
So the LaGrange player was down.
Yes, this is going to come back. Don't worry. It happens again in this game. But before we get into the second half and kind of what happened there, we need to touch on Dylan Barber, who was the former Northgate quarterback who transferred in his sophomore year just because he had to move. He's the starting quarterback for LaGrange. What do you see of him today?
He was unbelievable. I think he's one of the best high school quarterbacks I've seen with my own eyes. Just in person, just the way he I can see where his mind is. He's almost like Lamar Jackson. If nobody's open, he just runs, takes off, he scrambles in the pocket, and he has a great arm. He can throw 50, 60 yards down the field.
Yeah. Unbelievable cannon of an arm that can definitely develop as he goes into college. He's a dual threat quarterback. There were plenty of times where Trinity struggled in the secondary today, but to their credit, their pass rush was very, very effective. The only problem with that was Dylan would just keep escaping. There would be 3 or 4 guys around him, and I'm gonna pull I'm gonna say I'm gonna be now here's a guy who reminds me of Patrick Mahomes, because we were watching the Chiefs-Chargers game earlier. But this guy's almost faster than Mahomes, and the way he's able to quickly change direction in the pocket and get out and go on a run and gain some yards for the team. He had more rushing yards coming into this game, almost double the rushing yards than he did passing yards, though he had 4 passing touchdowns. And no picks today as well. He keeps the season clean. I think he's probably one of the best quarterbacks in the region. other than Brody Campbell at Noonan, who Northgate will see next week, by the way.
That's going to be a big game. Because they beat Noonan beat East Coweta 56-60, so that'll be a big game.
Noonan have scored 50 points in every single game this year, which is rather ridiculous.
It's crazy.
But this LaGrange team as well, they beat East Coweta. I mean, they've been a very good team. The only team that they lost to was Sandy Creek, and Sandy Creek are probably the best team in the entire Metro Atlanta area, at least on the south side, because they're undefeated.
And Sandy Creek beat them 23-7.
Completely shut down the guy we're talking about now, who's like just unbelievable. Do you mind getting the notes up real quick? I'll transition into the second half because it didn't get better for Trinity initially. It was 28 unanswered points in the end for LaGrange, and 28-10. Things are looking down. They're driving down the field late in the third quarter, and the bullet passes brought into Peyton Eccles. Trinity star receiver, by the way. A lot of the drops were on him in the first half. So they looked to him a lot, mainly because of how he's performed the first 2 weeks of the season. He's been their leading catcher and leader in yards, I believe, as well, in touchdowns. Please fact check me on Max Preps for the one person watching you. I think is Duke. What's up, Duke?
Because he's texting you.
He is, but thanks, Duke, for showing up at 11:08. Anyone else watching in the morning? Our friend Duke's watching us. Yes. Anyway,
shout out to Duke.
Eccles took it off the slant, went all the way down the left sideline, scored. And you think, oh, that's good. They get a stop on LaGrange. There was some back and forth. The punts were better, but it was a really boring period. And then in the middle of the fourth quarter, Trinity are driving, and Bakari Hamilton has been shut down all day by a really strong LaGrange defensive line. Gets the ball and goes straight down the left sideline. He outruns 3 or 4 defenders who some of them were missing tackles. That's going to get the game to 28-23. Trinity went for 2. Absolutely blown up.
It was a quarterback run, and they were getting it.
Yeah, I think they did try and run the QB, but they had 2 linebackers blitzing before the ball was even snapped. They anticipate the whole thing. So basically, this leaves you with a dilemma. There's 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. What do you do? Logical thinking would say, hey, you make a stop, especially with how well the pass rush has been this game, and
they onside kicked
They onside kicked it. So in the first half, they had done one onside kick at the beginning, as a surprise, that did nearly work because their player, while tipping it, was out of bounds. It was very, very close.
Yeah.
They then tried a squib kick or 2, which weren't very good. This onside kick, DePriest had a very good game, but it was low, man. It went straight. It was low and it went straight to LaGrange player. Not much chance there. Do you want to tell them how the game capped off after that?
So did you mention the fumble part yet?
Remember the fumble that happened earlier in the game that LaGrange thought they forced?
It happened again.
It happened again, but Trinity this time. It was about the 45 for LaGrange or the 50.
LaGrange.
It was actually Dylan Barber this time. Dylan Barber on a quarterback run, he's trying to go for the first down, and as he goes down and gets tackled, the ball pops free, and Trinity recovers it. And at this point, there's 2 minutes left. You think, oh my gosh, they've got a chance to win. The ref said his knee was down. And unfortunately, for all the high tech Trinity has, whether it's the refs with actual mics, which you really don't see in Coweta County that much, to be honest, or the Chick-fil-A ads that for some reason played on the speakers a bunch. It was really weird. They don't have instant replay or anything like that. So you kind of had to trust the ref's judgment call. Both of them were really close. Where we were in the stands, it was really hard to tell.
Yeah.
I don't want to light a fuel in the fire. I think Trinity had a better shout at the ball being popped out before his knee hit than LaGrange did in the first quarter. But it was close. So after that, Dylan just went straight to the ground again.
Yeah. And then he went for a 30-yard run, got a first down, and he iced the game. Then he ran it again for about 20 yards for a touchdown.
Unbelievable for him. His rushing stats are just going to be through the chart.
He gets 120 a game.
Northgate can't help that he had to move, but they're going to be hurting because next week we want to bring a table to Noonan and do our setup just like we did last week, which was more formal for what is the biggest game of the season between the undefeated Noonan Cougars and Northgate Vikings. If we can't get a table in, which might happen, we're not sure, we will set up in the stands and do something informal like we're doing now. We are just doing this for fun. We don't have any broadcasting stuff. We just appreciate that y'all are here and watching, and we just wanted to talk about a really good game. So it was good result for LaGrange.
Fun.
Yeah. And we had a good time. Shout out to the bands, by the way, before we leave. We had our best friend Hank Woody is on the band. He's one of the, what is it? Drum major?
He's drum major.
Yes. Sorry. I've been
him.
out of band too long. I don't know what that's called. But they did a Mission Impossible. They did like mysteries.
They did a mystery theme.
So you have Mission Impossible,
Pink Panther,
and Scooby-Doo. And then LaGrange's band was also very good.
And he had like good aura taking off his glasses. Like
they have cool sunglasses, yes.
Yeah, it's cool. They have cool sunglasses.
Okay. So join us next week for Northgate Noonan. And make sure to check out the Northgate band when they play there too, because they have a really, really cool show that I will not spoil because I've been told not to by him. So thanks for joining our informal show. Thank you for watching. If it's probably morning for you, we're going to get out of this Publix parking lot and go home. Have a good night. Good fight, Trinity, but congrats to LaGrange on a great win.
Bye, everybody.
Tough.